Traditionally, Mark was a Roman disciple of Peter who recorded Peter's account of Jesus' life and ministry, primarily to a Roman audience. Several scholars have noticed how, in the Passion story, Mark refers to specific details which appear to echo a scene of the Roman Triumphus. We see here a meta-narrative where Jesus is being coronated as the Son of God, in which he is contrasted with Caesar, who also claimed to be a god. In the Roman Triumphus, the Praetorian Guard would assemble in the Praetorium, and they would surround Caesar, along with his strategic followers in the Senate as well as others. In Mark's Gospel, Jesus is taken to the Praetorium and surrounded by a company of soldiers. Matthew and Mark both refer to the Praetorium, which is unusual as it's a Latin word rather than a Greek word. In the Roman Triumphus, a golden olive wreath representing a crown of triumph was taken from the temple of Zeus, along with a purple robe representing royalty, and a scepter representative of the power of Rome. These were brought to Caesar, who would wear the wreath in the robe and carry the scepter to display his authority. In Mark, Jesus is given a purple robe and a crown of thorns, and is beaten with a scepter. In the Roman Triumphus, the Praetorian Guard would shout, "Hail Caesar, triumph! Show us you are a god," over and over in front of the parade, and pay Caesar homage. In Mark, the soldiers chant, "Hail, King of the Jews," and in Mark's words, pay homage to him. In the Roman Triumphus, the parade would proceed from the Praetorium into the streets of Rome, following the soldiers, followed by Caesar. By him was the bull being led by a servant with a large axe that would be sacrificed, which would recognize Caesar's acceptance as a god into the pantheon. Furthermore, the soldiers would burn Caesar's incense throughout the city. In Mark, Jesus is led by the procession through the streets, where Simon of Cyrene follows him, carrying the mechanism of his execution. In the Roman Triumphus, the procession would continue to the top of the highest hill in Rome, the Capitoline, which means head hill. This was based on a myth that a fully preserved human head was found there while Rome was being built. After this, they would stop in front of the Capitoline. In Mark, they took Jesus to a hill called Golgotha, which literally translates as head hill. In the Roman Triumphus, once he had reached the Capitoline, Caesar would step to the front along with the servant leading the bowl. Here he would be offered a bowl of wine mixed with myrrh. He would then refuse the drink and pour it out onto the bowl, so as to symbolically share its fate. As soon as he had poured out the wine, the bull would be killed, making the sacrifice with the godhood of Caesar. In Mark, they offered Jesus wine mixed with myrrh, which he refused. Immediately after this, they crucified him. In the Roman Triumphus, Caesar would stand with the second and third most powerful people in Rome on his right and on his left, and he would climb up the Capitoline to the throne as a god. In Mark, they crucified two thieves with Jesus, one on his right and one on his left. When Caesar came to the top of the steps, the crowd would shout, "Hail Caesar, triumph, show us you are a god." Mark says, those who passed by Jesus hurled insults at him, shaking their heads and saying, "So, you who are going to destroy the temple and build it in 3 days, come down from the cross and save yourself." In the same way, the chief priests and the teachers of the law mocked him among themselves. "He saved others," they said, "but he can't save himself. Let this Christ, this King of Israel, come down now from the cross, that we may see and believe." Those crucified with him also heaped insults on him. In the Roman Triumphus, the crowd would then wait to receive a sign from the gods. One time when this happened, an eclipse occurred on the same day, and Caesar would be acknowledged to be a true son of the gods. In Mark, darkness falls over the land for 3 hours, and God gives a sign by tearing the veil of the temple in 2. Matthew's Gospel also tells us that there was an earthquake and that several holy people came out of their graves and appeared in the city. And a Roman soldier who was standing at the cross and saw how Jesus died declared that this man surely was the Son of God.